All right, welcome to the Friday Night Strike. I'm your host, Night Strike, and yeah, it's just the chat that we just sit down, hang out, and have a discussion, either with the people that jump in that have been invited, or the people out there on the YouTube side. Again, if you want to jump in, if you're out there on the YouTube side, make sure to go ahead and either send me an email on nightstrike1@gmail.com, or send me snail mail or smoke signals. But let me know you're sending those, so I know to watch out for those. So, but yeah. So I know we're a little late tonight. Instead of 6 o'clock, we're at 6:15. 6:16. I try and do it on time, but unfortunately, life in general just wants to get after you sometimes. So, G23's out there. He's first, and he's sending smoke signals. I think I sent you an email, G23. So if you check your mail, you might have a link. Nighthawk Medic is here, but he's muted, so we'll wait until he.
What up, boys?
He gets that fixed. So.
Yeah, and no electrical storms in the area, so I may be able to stay all the way through.
Oh yeah, I don't have any rain today, so I might have power all the way through.
Yay!
It's like that one time I tried to do a chat. You guys were all here, and it's like, Night Strike, is that lightning and thunder we hear in the background? Why, yes, it is. So expect my power to go out very often.
Well, we have a standing rule on G23's chats that we'll have to reflect to your chats, and that is that whenever the host has to leave unexpectedly for any reason, we start to sing until they return.
Don't do that. I want to keep subscribers, not run them off.
There's nothing like hearing us sing.
I only do that when I do an Indiegogo campaign for GunTube. And it's like the last couple hours.
Right.
That's the only time I do that.
12 beers in, you get a little singy.
Yeah. No, at that point, I want to be drinking at that point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, so Defense Dad is on his way to the local shop, so he cannot jump in. And when I say the local shop, of course I mean the local gun shop.
Of course, I spent all afternoon at the local gun shop. I almost bought a PSA rifle, but I think I'm going to buy one online.
I mean, what are you looking for? I've got one I kind of want to sell.
I'm getting the 20-inch AR with the
never mind. I'm not selling mine.
Yeah, with the Delta Defense front handguards on it, like we had when I was in the Army.
You didn't have the Knight's Armament?
Knight's Armament, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The Knight's Armament. Because I found a couple places where it's not the $300 or $400 that the new ones from Knight's Armament cost, but it's like $199 surplus. Yeah, it might be beat up to shit.
Good.
It might be beat up to shit. It might, be losing some of its paint or whatnot. But for that price, I take surplus any day. Heck
yeah, dude! I don't argue with that at all.
Because I've seen what those costs new, and if I pay half price, you know what? Sold. Problem is, I just don't have I don't have $200 on me right now.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I understand.
I can't even buy any ammo right now. That's how poor I am right now. So,
oh, buddy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we might.
These are trying times right now.
We just hit 250 subscribers over on my channel, so baby steps, right? I actually be giving something away, like a gift card or something. So maybe you'll win.
maybe. But anyways, enough about my problems. Well, apparently we are now also an open area for free range chicken. Isn't that right, Gizzard?
Oh,
that is correct.
Gizzard, the first one on the internet to nail the SHOT Show mention.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I looked like crap when I did that because I basically just gotten out of bed.
Yeah, it looked like you had gotten up and you were ready to go to work. Or
no,
you get there at least.
I was woke up by a text saying shot was canceled. It's like I went and looked at my mail real quick, and then they said somebody ought to make a video. It's like, okay, see how fast I can cook one up. So I didn't go into a lot of detail, and I caught a little grief for that because I didn't read the whole letter out loud, which I've learned in the past when I read stuff out loud that's lengthy, people tune out pretty quickly. So
right, and I was looking, and apparently Big Gunner got the same email not too long ago, and he posted it on the on Instagram. But quite honestly, the fact that you even did a video telling people that's enough. Honestly,
and I went back and I threw a link in the description if anybody wants to go read the entire statement. But basically, the state of Nevada put a bunch of restrictions on them they couldn't live with. I mean, 1,000 people attending the event, that obviously they couldn't.
That doesn't even cover. That doesn't even cover the companies that are attending.
No.
I'm disappointed. I am tremendously disappointed. I would have moved SHOT Show rather than absolutely act stupid about it the way they did.
They've had SHOT Show in Phoenix before. I don't see why not just change to Phoenix if Nevada's going to be like that.
They've had it in St. Louis before.
I'll be honest. I'm from Phoenix. I went back to Phoenix for GRPC last year. I tell you what, they've built more buildings, bigger buildings. They've got convention centers to rival what's in Nevada. Okay, easily. They could completely do something, and I'm just saying this just to try and get more people to Phoenix, because Vegas is nice if you like to lose all your money, but if you want to visit, a nice desert city, there's Phoenix.
And excuse my language and throw me out if you want to, but the fact that people keep going bitch tits over this, particular gun owners, is driving me up the wall. I'm done. I'm completely done with being nice about this stuff. Let's be honest for a minute, gang. If you're going to die of COVID, you're also going to die of the flu or pneumonia or anything else.
Nighthawk Medic, I'm going to throw you out of the chat just now because I'm kidding, obviously.
Bye.
But no, I'm kidding, obviously. But I'm saying, you're not going to die from COVID, okay? Case in point, yes, he probably had better treatment than you or I probably would get, but the president got over it in a couple days, okay? It only took him a couple days to get over it. Now, it took me, I just stayed in bed for like 2 weeks and I got over it, okay?
I had it in November, and I'm a heart patient, and I lived through it. So
I will say it's probably the worst flu virus thing that I've ever caught in my life. I won't argue that point. I won't say that we shouldn't be cautious about the pandemic or about COVID-19, but I really don't think we should be taking it way out of proportion like the Democrats and some other state governors have been doing.
Yep. It's getting to be ridiculous.
All I have to say is, what the hell is wrong with you people? I'm even speaking to you Democrats. I'm speaking to you independents or those in the Republican Party. Everybody. I don't care what your political party is. Stop being a sick bastard and just practice proper hygiene, for God's sake, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
Or am I wrong?
Nope.
What the hell? Take a shower and wash your hands. Is that too hard to do?
Wipe your nasty ass.
Take a shower every Monday, whether you need one or not.
Wash your hands after you wipe your ass. Come on. I mean, if the free range chicken can do it, you got everyone else in this damn country does not have any excuse.
I egregiously. Well, like I said, I'm done with the game.
But again, SHOT Show is canceled.
Yeah, that's...
No, Honda, I did not say I'm a people person, so you shouldn't get an Office Space flashback unless you stole my red stapler. And at that point, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Hello, guys.
So
I do like the Donkey Kong reference.
I can relate to that,
We got Rob D in here. We've got Roll Call in here. I didn't even know Roll Call was available this evening. So, but again, go ahead, Gary. I just had to announce the two that had jumped into the chat.
No, in 1983, I took a job where I was a lead in a group, and the person who was a lead before me had a black stapler. Everybody else had gray staplers, but I had a black. You know, I've had that thing now for 37 years. I still have one of the few black swing line staplers out there, and that's a point of contention with me. Nobody better take my stapler.
You know, they didn't start making the red ones until the movie Office Space, where people saw the red swing line stapler that they just spray painted over. And, swing line was like, apparently other color staplers are popular, so let's make a red one. So I went out and bought a red one, as soon as they started making them.
Yeah, and then they started handing people those inferior bait staplers, which sucked.
Before Swing Line only made it in like black or gray. I don't think they had a white one yet.
No.
But back in the day, they really only made them in black.
People love to color coordinate their office accessories now. That's the big thing.
It's customization. It's customization to suit their tastes.
Individuality.
How is being like everybody else individuality?
Wait, if everybody has a stapler, they must be doing something right.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what color the stapler is, as long as it's a stapler, right?
Yes, you still do use a stapler every once in a while, believe it or not. Yeah. We still have printers around.
We still have these things called printers, and there's still this thing called paperwork.
Not all. Some of the printers do automatically.
A lot of it's been digitalized.
Don't all do that.
Digitized. A lot of paperwork has been digitized where you can just use Word and whatnot these days. But still, there are still people that have to do actual paperwork because some stuff can't be done online.
Oh no, we can't have that.
I know. It's awful.
I hate it when I have to sign my name on something with a pen. It's like, how 1990s,
So
you're not wrong. You are not wrong. It feels weird.
Yeah, I'm old school. All my contracts are paperwork.
Are they?
Or somebody taking a spiral notebook in a meeting to take notes. It's like, come on, we got tablets, we got laptops. You're gonna write on this thing with ink, really?
So no homo. But I was very happy to hear your voice just now, New York Outcast. How are you, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, finally his phone or internet's working again.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been tied up lately. Been trying to handle a lot of different things and building between work and then in free time, building storage units and things like that. So
gotcha.
Trying to get stuff cleaned up, organized, easy to transport and move when the time comes. And
Ghost Shadow says at Night Strike, I knew 3 people that were in their 30s that have died from COVID. They refused to go to the hospital. Well, I'm 37, so I just stayed in bed for 2 weeks and that fixed it.
Well, and see, that's the important differential right there. So if you're dying of something, please go to the hospital.
I wasn't dying. I wasn't dying. I just felt like shit.
Yeah,
I have no. If I had gotten any worse, I would have gone to the hospital.
Yeah, if you start to struggle to breathe, those are great times to go to the hospital.
I was just coughing a lot because with COVID, sometimes you cough a lot. I didn't have any sinus problems other than just having a major fucking headache. And then there's the losing the sense of smell and taste. That sucked.
I've seen how you dress. That's not what cost you your sense of taste.
Very funny. I've seen how you decorate your rooms. You should not be talking, sir.
The room that you're referring to is my office. And it's all army stuff and guns. And in a group of six people, this should absolutely be a wonderful decorative scheme.
You should not need a mirror in there. That's all I'm saying.
Mirror? Yeah, it's actually pretty handy when you start to put all your crap on.
Oh boy. Anyways.
If you introduced me, I'm sorry, man. I had to run down to the driveway real quick. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, go yell at your neighbors. That's okay.
No, I got some deer in the field over there right in front of my tree stand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw the pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, those are some brutes.
So maybe you'll get lucky one of these days.
You have to ever come out in the daytime.
I'm working on my office right now, trying to make more room. So,
Ghost Shadow says he's had the flu every year for the last 20 years. Well, I haven't had the flu every year. I've usually gone and gotten flu shots.
Sorry about that, dude. That sucks.
Well, yeah, Rob, that's a nice chair you got there.
Yeah, trying to move stuff around and get other stuff in place and all that type of stuff. So.
Rob, are you a gamer?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I used to dabble, but that's a long time ago. Games will get me in trouble. So.
Oh yeah.
My first system, I sat down for I think 20 some odd hours, called in. And I ended up packing it up and taking it back.
You are the one exception out of everyone.
I was like, shit.
Honda, you are the one exception out of everyone. I've had the flu before several times, but I usually get a flu shot. But that's only because I can go to the clinic my dad works for and get a cheap flu shot. So
everybody in this country will get COVID at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody will have to.
Everyone's gonna get it regardless, and it's not gonna be my fault. I'm just letting you know it's not my fault. So
I'm for sure I didn't already have it.
Like I said, I got mine in November, and it was awful, and nobody had any idea what it was, and it sucked, and I'm a heart patient. And my doctor told me, you need to take care of yourself for a little bit, but once you beat this, you'll probably be fine because it's a coronavirus. And they knew it was a coronavirus. They just didn't think there was anything unique about it because there isn't. Yeah. And I got over it, and my wife got over it because I gave her a reduced version of it because she was a nurse and she was taking care of me.
No fuss. Just reduced price.
What did Foss say?
Yeah, my dad works for a nonprofit clinic.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you can get all the condoms you want.
No, he does all the finance stuff for them. So I'm able to get shots instead of paying $30 for them. I can pay 10 or 15.
You can get boofed. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, so.
Did you say yes to that?
These days, I don't care. I don't care. Just make the jokes all you want.
It was a good joke. It was a positive one.
I don't know if that's positive or not. But,
they go way faster if you just let people make them and then go on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, Ghost Shadow says I've had deer and moose at my front door. I've shot moose from less than 5 feet away. You have seen photos of moose sniffing at my camera. Yeah, but Ghost Shadow, that's when you lived in Alaska. Now it's a lot harder to shoot anything in Washington without a permit.
Yeah. So G23 just asked me what is wrong with North Carolina that they refuse to remove Black Lives Matter banners. It's called succumbing to emotional terrorism. It's the same reason why some women will allow a man to beat them for 20 years.
Mm.
People in North Carolina have long been victims. It's like Virginia.
Well, people keep donating to the NRA.
Well, North Carolina's a lot like any other place. They've got their big cities where they get their big city politics, and then you've got the rest of the state, which is normal people, quote unquote.
This is true.
Kansas is the same way. If you go to Kansas City, they're going to be city people just like any other city.
Well, so what's the solution? Cut the cities apart?
Yeah, let them have. If it wasn't for the cities, I think 3 or 4 cities in this state voted in our last Democratic governor. If you look, they did a county by county thing. You could see red all the way across the board except for 4 little blue dots. And those are the counties where Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita, and like Lawrence, I believe. That's what turned it.
I still maintain that if Donald Trump loses the election, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. There's absolutely no reason that Donald Trump should lose this election.
If we get everybody mobilized, everybody who can vote in the red states, and don't just sit there and think, oh, my vote don't count, make it count. Go vote next Tuesday or earlier, and, blah, blah, blah. But get out there and register your vote. Make sure we're all counted. Then if we lose, we lose. But otherwise, we're giving up, and giving up's never an option.
Nope.
I'm not giving up. I'm not. It's just I'm of the opinion that voting day is November 3rd, and I'm not going to vote until then.
I voted a week ago, and I stood in line for 2 hours, and I've driven by that voting place the last week, and there's been at least a 2-hour line there every day.
Yeah, I'm not staying in line.
Maybe they'll let you vote again if you get in line.
I was going to ask that question, but the side effect of being a conservative is I'm honest.
Yeah.
We have the ability to vote early, but it's not your normal polling place, and it is packed, like to the point where
Kingpin
I
is saying
considered, but I'm not going in that line.
He blames third-party voters and libertarians.
I thought he was blaming librarians for a second.
Yeah, I thought so too, but I saw a T in there.
Librarians.
Sitting there for all them books and voting.
No. You missed the T there. He meant libertarians, not librarians.
Worthless librarians.
Yeah, damn their Dewey Decimal System. And all that.
Oh my gosh, you've got me tickled. You broke me. I can just see it. I get this picture of an old man shaking his fist. Damn your Dewey Decimal System.
Damn your Dewey Decimal System and your card catalog.
Your card
catalogs.
Oh my God.
Now what was I here for again?
Gizzard broke me.
The Republican kids coming in here and putting the books back in the wrong place.
Oh my God!
Checking out books and not bringing them back.
Oh, Lord of mercy!
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, but your local library actually does more than just books these days. I mean, mine does video games, DVDs, Blu-rays. So they basically your library. Technically it's replaced Blockbuster in a sense because
usually they're part of a statewide system and you can order stuff from other libraries and sent to.
Well, there's not a library in the world that shouldn't be getting like hotspots that they can loan out and things of that nature, like a hotspot checkout program. That'd be the smartest thing they could do right now.
I do believe in this state they actually have some electronic thing you can use with your Kindle and stuff like that allows you to check out electronic books.
Not just your Kindle, your smartphone or any Android device.
Nice.
It's pretty darn cool what you can do.
Even
if you
iPhone
into it.
Yeah, I've done that before, and here's the thing: I like going to the library. Yes, I look at a lot of gun books, but I also read a lot of sci-fi. I also like going and getting some movies that I don't have on DVD or whatnot, and it just amazes me that our local libraries have pretty much taken place of what we used to have with movie rentals and video game rentals. You get from Blockbuster.
So I'm just saying, my library doesn't have an adult section. I don't know.
Well, I understand the reason why they don't. You know why too. So you should know why they don't.
Got to look in the art section.
Is it in the art? Okay, that's what I meant. When I was a kid, we'd go get the National Geographics and the anatomy books, and go hide in the corner.
Yeah. Apparently, G23 lives in the one state where they still have one Blockbuster left.
Ah, nice. Blockbuster sent me a bill for $63 for Flight of the Navigator one time. A movie that you can't even rent on Netflix.
And Mad is saying, at Night Strike, I miss Blockbuster. Lots of good memories with friends and not rewinding them VHS.
I hated VHSs.
Love that. Well, see, I never had any problems because me and my parents were smart. Instead of using the VHS, the VCR to rewind all the tapes.
You bought a rewinder.
Yeah,
we bought a rewinder. Because I don't know if you know, but they were cheap back in the day. They were cheap because Blockbuster would want you to rewind them anyways, and if you didn't, you get charged for it.
Okay, let's have a contest. Let's see who has the most defunct piece of entertainment equipment in their house. And to make it reasonable, a modern version of the record player does not count.
It's still hooked up or just somewhere in the house? Because I've got a VHS player somewhere in this house.
Well, I had to buy a newer record player because the one we had broke. So it has to count because it's made by the company that's been making record players for 100 years.
I have a vehicle that has an 8-track player in it that still works.
Wow.
So I've got a stereo that still has an 8-track player and it still works. I still have 8 tracks.
Nice.
But
I have one 8-track.
I'm gonna one up you though. I'm gonna go a little more digital. I still have a Laserdisc player.
Yeah, we have a Laserdisc. We have a mini disc.
Now, do you still have a Betamax player?
No, I do not have a Betamax player.
I do. And I've got Betamax with all the Star Wars movies on Betamax and VHS and DVD.
How about an open reel-to-reel to record music?
Not
I don't have one of
recording.
those.
I still have some reel-to-reels that have movies on them, and we have a reel-to-reel player.
Well, Kingpin has an Atari 2600. I got one in the basement. Yeah,
I got one around here somewhere.
I've got one packed away. I've also got an Intellivision, 2 Nintendos, just the original box ones, and I've got all the video game systems.
I've got
Foss has an actual 75 record. There you go.
Huh?
Yeah, I've got a Wii around here somewhere.
Yeah, I've got a Nintendo Wii.
I try to go to the bathroom for that, but
no. See, Nintendo Wii, Wii, not your Wii, different.
No, when I Wii, dude, I don't play with my Wii either. But that's.
I don't want to hear what you do with it. I don't care.
That thing has a shelf life. You'll learn that as you get older.
Well, I'm sure the expiration date says way past expired.
Yeah. Oh man,
if you shake your Wii more than twice, you're just playing with it.
That's entertainment. That's no longer work.
All right. So
we broke him.
So go Shadow posted on my Discord some of the pictures that he was talking about. So,
oh God, not in public.
Deer, no, you keep your mind out of gutter.
Oh yeah, look at there.
There's deer right there.
Man, that's a flashbang and hatchet kill right there. You don't even have to wait for the right season.
So I showed it.
You need to blow it up. They can't see it.
All right,
put it on your MySpace, man.
Yeah.
Your MySpace.
MySpace. Wow, Gary, you're just showing your age tonight, man. You're just showing.
Yeah, I used to have a MySpace. I used to have a GeoCities website too.
Oh,
so did I.
Hand-coded that damn thing with HTML and everything.
Oh, that would have been a nightmare.
I did that myself back in '98. So
those are the good old days.
Yep.
That and Hotmail before Microsoft bought it.
Yes, I still have a Hotmail account somewhere.
So do I. I've got 2 working ones still.
Oh, you still use your Abacus too? Come on, man.
No, I'm using a normal calculator these days.
You have to blow the dust off of it.
Because
you had to fire up that Netscape Navigator you had, man.
Because I was required to get it for school. A TI-83 calculator.
I remember those. Yeah. Gosh, I also remember dial-up internet very well. I remember the biggest scam in the world being DSL internet. Everybody bought. DSL was the original internet scam, man. Everybody who bought DSL for about 6 months was being screwed by it. So everybody was excited about faster internet because the internet was a new thing. And so DSL was going to take your internet browsing speed up. But the problem wasn't their actual internet. The problem was their computer couldn't process the picture of grandma fast enough for them to actually look at it. And so by the time when DSL first came out, it wasn't until they upgraded to the 286 and the 386 models that people could actually take advantage of that speed, because most people were just doing, like email or
they got rid of that 9600 baud modem and bought a 14.4 so they could really cruise along.
Yep. Oh, holy crap, that noise takes me back. Oh my gosh.
Sign into our CompuServe account. Yeah.
I don't miss that. Especially when you're calling somebody and you get that number.
You've got mail.
Welcome. You've got mail.
You'd dial into your ISP and they'd be busy for like 3 hours while all the high school kids had gotten out of school.
Yep.
DM Foss, you're not the only one who used the original Netscape. Every one of us did at that point. Because
all of us.
We had to buy
Netscape.
Internet Explorer when it first came out. You had to go to the store and buy that shit. I remember.
It had a disc, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
every store you go into would have these free AOL discs.
Yeah.
Collect them things and throw them at people.
I made a fish out of AOL discs at one point.
We used to shoot them.
That's what you do.
Yeah, we'd put them tack them up on a post and shoot them.
I still think I have a box full of those AOL discs that I have never used.
That's great. I bet they've got some value today. Let's go to eBay. No,
I think I have a copy of AOL 1.0 on 3.25 floppy. Somewhere.
They're worth it. You can buy one for 99 cents.
So they're not worth anything. That's the point.
Yeah.
So,
vintage AOL disc, $9.60. Here's some 3.25.
Plus a set of CDs.
Or 3.5 and 5.25.
You had to have to reload Windows. There's a problem with it.
Matt is saying, who remembers Net Zero?
Yeah.
I remember Net Zero.
Yeah.
Because remember when I was in high school at that point, and my parents thought they would punish me by not letting me use the internet when I needed it for school or something, and I just said, you know what, I downloaded Net Zero the other day. I'll just try that and use that. I don't care if there's ads. Hell, as long as I'm connected to the internet, it doesn't matter.
Computers weren't a problem for me. We just went outside. I mean, it was. If we weren't wandering in the woods for 6 hours a day, it didn't feel like we accomplished anything.
Yeah, well, that's what the parents thought was to at least my parents at that point. They wanted me to go outside and do things and whatnot, and that's great.
You should have listened.
I should have listened, but you know what? Net Zero saved the day.
We should have listened.
We should have listened. Nope.
Did it save the day or just give you advanced arthritis?
I can neither confirm nor deny. So we lost roll call, but we gained a Jason Stewart. Jason, where'd you pop up from?
That's kind of a chip. Oh, hey Jason.
Is that an upgrade? Yeah.
Well, it's sideways. It's a sideways grade.
It's a lateral move.
I'm not going to put roll call above Jason. Or vice versa.
I feel like you're being
roll call's a much better man than I am.
No, he's not, Jason. Don't sell yourself short.
Are you making fun of his height now? Jesus, dude. Give him a little room to breathe.
I can't be making fun of anybody for their height.
I know.
Hey,
he totally went for the eyeballs.
I'm taller than you, Shorty.
Yeah, well, so are most 8th graders. Let's not.
Be real with yourself, friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't make you a giant.
I'm not saying I'm a giant. I'm just saying I'm
taller than my 5'7" ass.
I'm also taller than Ghost and Clover. So
I have discovered that in the world of GunTubers, I'm kind of a big guy.
No, if you've ever met gun websites in person, he's tall.
Yeah, there's some tall guys, but at 6'1", I'm not a shrimp compared to most GunTubers.
Yankee's actually pretty tall himself too.
Yankee Marshall?
Yes,
he's like 5'11".
Gunsnob's fairly tall.
Yeah. And the problem with Yankees, you only see him from the stomach up. He doesn't take full video. So
Yankee only has a new tummy.
I don't know what's going on. We won't speculate.
Yankee doesn't do full frontal.
We all know you know that. Right?
Oh.
What? I'm confused. What's full frontal?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Somebody explain on the feed.
Some things are better not known.
My contract requires no mention of Yankee while here.
Subscriptions.
So I wanted to introduce him before I kept on getting interrupted by the Yahoos. So Artisan Tony jumped in.
Yay. Hey, Tony, I'm putting my phone number over here because I have no way of getting a hold of you.
Well, that's good.
Well, we're going to go shoot at some point, though.
We are, after I get all the Cosmoline out of my new Yugo SKS.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Because I'm always 10 years behind everybody on the SKS buy or whatever gun it is. Whatever the popular.
Yeah.
What I do is whatever the fad is, I wait to see how they all pan out.
Right.
And then I buy the best one, which was as far as SKS, the Yugo. So
yeah. Well, I traded all my Yugos up for Russians, real Russians, because I liked the coloration on them better. But the Yugos
we're still trying to decide if Putin is worth it or not. So.
Right.
So. Although, you know what I was just thinking today? I was thinking this guy called into a local radio station, and I think I know this guy. And he was talking about for some reason they were talking about Dick's Sporting Goods, and he was trying to explain the boycott of Dick's Sporting Goods.
Okay.
And you know what just occurred to me was that the gun community has become the Me Too cancel culture. Right. And the do something has become the do nothing. It's like boycotting is the do nothing, but you get to feel good about it. Right. And I was thinking, why are we not fighting the import ban? I'm watching AK, I'm watching the Kalashnikov group every day make these cool videos of new AKs, and we can't get them because of what? Because we're all lazy and we're just letting the gun laws exist, But we're right there when it comes to banning Dick's Sporting Goods, right? We're right there. We're all on board with that, but we can't seem to create a political action committee that lobbies Washington to actually do something.
Well, that's why I've said I'm completely done with contributing to the big organizations. I hear a lot of smoke and mirrors, and then they'll actually proudly get on a live stream and talk about how they're triple billing to do one job and crap like that. And I'm just like, I'm not giving you people any more money.
It hit me like a light bulb. It was like a dynamite. It was like a stick of dynamite went off in my head. I was like, what are we doing? In the last 10 years, what has any gun organization done to actually repeal a gun law? I remember when I caught so much crap when I started repealgunlaws.com, and I actually just stopped paying for the URL because I was getting crap every day for the idea of repealing a gun law. Mm-hmm. Was just so absurd, was so out there, was so Friday night that it couldn't be done. And all we could do was boycott crap. All we could do is boycott Dick's Sporting Goods and Springfield Armory and whoever the hell, Walmart for not selling ARs anymore.
Boycotting.
The gun community has become the do nothing, do everything. crowd.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for some reason, we act like people should all care about our cause, when in reality, we don't do anything on the local level to, so let's pretend for a minute that you've had 50,000 new gun owners in your town, right? And that may be conservative in some places. And so you've got 50,000 new people who realized there was a problem in our country and went out and bought a gun. So these are the kind of people that understand that their Second Amendment right, whether they understand the whole picture, is something that's important, right? They have now had a situation where they go, oh, this has value. I need to be able to own a firearm to protect myself. So that's 50,000 people that will never go to a Second Amendment broadcast. This is just argument, right? Will never go to a Second Amendment shoot. Will never go to Washington, D.C. Will never go to SHOT Show. On and on and on and on and on. But since there's very little local activism, but rather it's much easier to send your $20 to the GOA or one of those groups, those 50,000 people probably will not get engaged.
Yeah, and you know what else happens when they do a Google search and they go, oh, what's the gun community on YouTube? They'll see a bunch of people boycotting, which they think is doing something, right? Doing nothing is doing something, and they'll say, oh, that's really impressive, and nothing will still never get done. Yep. No gun law will ever get repealed because doing something is not doing anything, which is boycotting something.
Well, and it's like here in Tennessee, the last three just rat-tastic laws that they tried to push through, the local NRA rep just kind of went, okay, and shrugged their shoulders. And I was like, what? Excuse me while I lose my mind.
Boycotting, I think, does something for the individual, at least at the very least.
Is Dick's Sporting Goods out of business? Are they still in business? They are. Is Springfield Armory still in business?
What's the point of that? It's what I'm saying is they can stay in business, but not with my money.
It's cheaper than dirt still in business. Yes, they are.
Doesn't really make a difference.
Who cares? If they're still in business, that means you have no power. That means
I'm not giving my money to certain people, and that makes me feel better. So on a personal level, the boycott.
That's all it does. It makes you feel better. That's all it does.
Right.
No, it does more than just make you feel better. Because now you're taking your money and you're supporting a local business, hopefully going to your local business.
No, that's a lie. That's not a lie. You're buying cheap
You got to buy guns and ammo somewhere.
That's a lie. It's a lie. It's all a lie.
It's not a lie.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. It happens differently with other people. Everything in your world doesn't work for everybody else.
I'm not getting it at Dick's, so I'm not buying guns and ammo anymore. No, you're buying it somewhere. So where are you buying it? Hopefully at your local FFL, which again is supporting somebody local in your community.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what does that do to repeal existing gun laws? It doesn't do anything, right? Why do we put up with the fact that we can't buy an AK?
Anybody said a boycott does.
Why do we put up with the fact that there's a law that says we can't import AKs anymore? Because we're fucking lazy-minded. That's why. And we think that boycotting Dick's Sporting Goods is doing something. That's why. Well, we should, this
boycotting Dick's has nothing to do with AKs.
Friday Night Strike should be. They should be dedicating a whole meeting every month to repealing the import ban or some gun law.
And what's that going to do? Make you feel good?
Okay.
I want
to raise a hand real quick. I want to raise a hand real quick who is an adult in 1986.
It's like
if you were 21 in 1986. Who's old enough to say they were 21 in 1986?
Who cares how old you were? If you do that, you're never going to, right? If you start talking about how old we are.
What were you doing to repeal the? What were you doing that let them go and put the Hughes Amendment in? What were you doing in 1986? Were you able to say anything?
Okay, how old are you now? How old are you now, Don Strike? Are you still an infant? No,
I'm not.
You're a man now, right?
Yeah, and I don't like it either.
But you have the right to go repeal. You have the right to create an organization and get support and raise money and repeal that gun law.
Is
Right?
that what you did, Tony?
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't exist. I'm including myself in this. We're all guilty of it.
Okay. Because
Am I
it sounded
Jesus?
like
I'm not
you were just
Jesus.
preaching.
No, if I was Jesus, you all would be in hell right now. Okay.
Good.
I'm just kidding. It was a joke. I'm just saying.
Jesus, man.
We gotta get rid of. We all have to get rid of the egos. We all have to get rid of the pride. We all have to say we all screwed up, and we all have to quit doing what we've been doing over the past 20 years, and that's just pretending like boycotting is doing something when it's not. Doing nothing is not doing something.
That was my point of when I said, so what? That's just going to make you feel good, because it doesn't matter if there's 6 or 7 of us sitting in an echo chamber preaching to the 15 people that are watching. It's the millions and millions of other gun owners that aren't doing anything. So that's my whole point behind.
It's like the majority of NRA members, right? That's why you all call them all thugs, because they don't do anything. But there's nobody out there saying, "Hey, let's do something." They're all, you know what I mean? What NRA does is they go out and they stroke people and they say, "Hey, I like you. Look at all the people in the gun community that have become NRA people. They're just being stroked by the NRA, and they're being paid to do things for the NRA. And they're really not doing anything. They're just being stroked, and they're getting positions, and they're getting money. But there's no gun laws being repealed.
It's a circle jerk.
It's a big circle jerk.
Make money.
That's exactly.
No one's arguing on that point. No one is arguing that.
Okay, then we're all in agreement. We should repeal
Wait a minute.
The import ban.
When was I supposed to get jerked? I've put thousands of dollars into the NRA over the years.
Me too.
What a waste, dude. Doesn't it make you cry? Doesn't it just irritate the snot out of you?
I was actually dumb enough to take 12 courses to become an NRA instructor, right? But yeah. And nothing, and of course I never planned to be an NRA instructor. I just got sucked into it. But I did it for the boys. I did it for when Alex was in the Boy Scouts, to be honest with you. But the point is that all these people who are involved, all the thousands and thousands of NRA instructors like me, who just got sucked into it to pay fees and to get certifications so they could download little cards that they could stick in their wallets and say, "Ooh, I'm an NRA instructor." All of those people are part of the machine, right? They're all part of that big fake machine. And yeah, I'm one of them. We're all one of them.
Well, I think we have an opportunity to look at ourselves and to ask, where can we have an impact? I do lots of things locally on the level of militias. And so somebody asked me, what's the point of that? And I said, well, because, every country, every town where the people have stood up to and actually resisted the problem that keeps introducing itself, Antifa and BLM, they've turned around, packed their crap, and left because they couldn't get established. So that's what I hope to see happen here. But I ignorantly contributed to organizations that were doing nothing to stop the inclination of new anti-gun laws in my state, because I believe, just like everybody else, that it would just be something I could throw money at. And so I've realized that's not the case. I've joined the Tennessee Firearms Association and a couple of those other places that are actually doing things locally to work with those places. And in addition to that, I offer help to any new gun owners. But really, you're right, Tony. We have to be active. We have to push something that will take that 50 or 100,000 new people and turn them into advocates for their own rights.
I was looking on GunBroker just this afternoon. Do you know how much it costs to get like just an AK-74, like an arsenal? It's like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because we've allowed our government to create that situation where the demand is higher than the supply. And so now we have to pay out the rear end for an AK, right?
I think my MAT 90s are worth like $1,300 now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You probably paid $600
that much.
Oh no, $150.
Yeah,
I paid $150 for those things each.
You say one of the things, like Tony, you said that you're an NRA instructor. I don't think that's a bad thing. And the people who are, because the thing is, if we're going to sit there and act like that's a bad thing, or you're part of the cycle that just keeps the NRA machine going, there is good things that the NRA does. I'm not saying that they are saints or anything, by no means, but not everything they do.
Let me just explain to you. Okay, there's a system within the NRA. There's called NRA. There are counselors who certify instructors. Okay, those people's responsibilities are to go around and stroke NRA members into becoming instructors. Okay.
Yep.
So they get paid to basically create new instructors. Now, at the time, I was involved with the Boy Scouts, and I did it to help certify the rifle instructing the badge for the Boy Scouts, right? So I fell into that. I kind of got sucked into it, and there's a lot of people who get sucked into it, but the NRA has a whole system of how to recruit people into becoming NRA instructors, and 90% of them don't even make money being professional, right? 90% of the certified instructors of the NRA don't even do it professionally. I would guarantee that number.
But is that something to be demonized? I don't.
No, it's not. But we're not activists. We're not. Look at the. If I was on that level, if I was on the same level in the left, I would be out now. I would be like a soldier leading people into Walmart to take big screen TVs. Okay. But see, on the right, we don't look at activism the same way as the left does. We're peaceful people, right? We don't. And when we just don't look at it the same way. We think becoming an NRA instructor is something grandiose and something valiant or whatever. And the left thinks their leaders are people who go out and recruit 10 people to riot and go loot a store. Yep. You see, if there was something in the middle on the right where we said, okay, you 10 people are responsible for repealing the import ban on AKs, there might be something that gets done eventually, but there won't, because our reward is just a badge or a certificate. That's the sad part, and that's why I cry every day over this whole thing.
Right. Now, switching gears real quick for a second, WA Hiker on the Discord channel posted this, saying he almost ran into a deer the other day. Check this out. Did you see that?
Yep.
That was a deer. Let's see.
That's like every day in the north.
Yeah, I was going to say that's up north.
Don't get started.
That's just a little one, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a little one, but it doesn't matter what size of deer it is. It can cause damage to your car if you hit it, regardless.
Dude, I had a deer run into my car.
I was thinking venison.
Not me hit them; they hit me.
Dude, I didn't hit that one either. No, I just swerved to the other lane and got him before he had a chance.
No, that one is way too small for venison. It's more like veal.
In Tennessee, you would have seen the car come to the street and stop, and the AK noise in the background going bang, 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 bang.
No, I feel like to bring up something else. Sorry, I feel like we're on a good topic here.
Go for it.
I don't think the national gun lobbies are that bad. Granted, NRA does its things, but you got to look at like Second Amendment Foundation. They're fighting 1639 in Washington right now. GOA is suing the city of Philadelphia right now here in PA because they're taking so long to dole out concealed carry permits. They're doing things, but we're sitting here.
I'm not saying they're not doing things. I'm saying that we've allowed some things to become an establishment. We've allowed.
Yes, but we're also sitting here talking about having these organizations just be able to get rid of the NFA or the GCA and things like that overnight. It's not going to happen. When you're talking what? There's supposed to be 130 million firearms owners in this country. and 5 million might be NRA members. Maybe 3 million belong to the GOA. I don't know the numbers for Second Amendment Foundation, and the list goes on. Then you start getting into your state organizations and your local organizations, and those numbers are even smaller. And a lot of those people are already members of NRA or GOA and things like that. So it's just repeat people. So you're talking about maybe a tenth of all firearms owners are actually even remotely involved by donating or anything like that. And then out of that 1/10 of firearms owners, how many are actively involved fighting for these things?
That's not, because we think if we give our $10 to the Second Amendment Foundation, we're good, we're done, right?
Yeah. But that's my point. It's not.
Then it's up to that organization.
If 5 million gun owners marched on DC and demanded any act to be removed, it would be gone in a week.
Yeah, you know why?
That's the point right there, Nighthawk.
Yeah.
Trump needs to be educated. He's a great guy. He will be and he is a great president. He will be a second term president.
I hope so.
He needs to be educated from us on what we need that needs to be done. You can't. Those organizations that are fighting those lawsuits they're in the trenches. What we really need are like some grassroots spring up.
There you go.
That goes and says, like, Nighthawk said, you got to freaking march, and I don't know, somehow get it to the attention, because it's just business as usual otherwise.
I spent $10,000 paying for people to go to Virginia. There were 3.6 million Second Amendment people hiding in Second Amendment counties in Virginia during that march. Not a one of them would emerge. Not one sheriff would come. Nobody would move. 33,000 people showed up. 2.6 million hid in their Second Amendment counties. And the governor just started pushing through new laws because he saw what the true passion was, which was we would rather hide from the problem and not be involved and not stick our necks out at all and allow stuff to just happen. And so you're watching the state, you're watching Virginia lose rights actively. And let me tell you, a Second Amendment county or city is just a piece of paper, because the moment they push it far enough, federal troops are going to come take your crap.
Yep.
Just like President Trump is an outsider, we need an outside group to get information to President Trump on what needs to be done to satisfy true Second Amendment, aficionados. That's right.
Federal doesn't enforce state law, though. Federal only enforces federal law.
I'm sorry, in Biden's plan is state law. Let me tell you something very important, and this is critical. This is super critical.
You're supposing he's going to win.
Well, hang on. Biden is just a symptom of a larger problem. Gentlemen, 10 years ago, had a presidential candidate stood up in front of America and said, I'm going to tax you to your knees and take your guns from you by both taxing them and coming door to door to take them, we would have been killing people. This would have been the Second American Revolution. But people don't care enough anymore. And so they are freely saying and posting plans to do those very things with no abashedness. So even if Biden doesn't become president, do you think the next one will be more shy?
No, but I can tell you right now, the next one probably will be a Democrat.
Well, that's probably true.
You think Biden's going to get elected?
No. No, I mean the next Democrat president we get is probably going to be after Trump.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
No, well, I haven't voted for either a Democrat or a Republican who fit anywhere close to what their party lines were since Clinton.
That's why you have to vote for the candidate, not the party.
Yeah.
Am I voting for Trump because he's a Republican? No, that's dumb. He's not a Republican.
He's not a Republican.
He's not a Republican or conservative.
Nope.
He's just somebody that said, flipped his middle finger to the whole system, and that's what people don't get.
Nope.
That's what they don't get. He's not either one.
That's why the first protest made me laugh so much. People were just losing their minds about what Trump was doing, and I was like, really? This is what you asked him to do. You loved it when he was ripping into Hillary Clinton, and now he's eating Grandpa Biden, and you're afraid of that? That bothers you? It's not presidential anymore?
I just want to know all the people that want to take away all our guns and raise taxes, why the hell they're still in America when they said they were going to move to Canada?
Because that distracts you long enough that you don't lose your mind every time they say something stupid.
Oh, it's typical talk's cheap.
I just want to know why they didn't go to Canada. What the fuck are you still doing here?
I don't really pay attention to the lies every time I hear them. Sometimes I ignore them.
Well, it's a pretty good idea, and I tell people this all the time because you're exactly right, by the way, Tony. When I used to tell people all the time, when somebody says something that is potentially damaging to their character or to themselves, you should pay attention to it. If somebody's telling you, hey, I think I might hurt myself, you should pay attention to that. You should go get them help. So when somebody says to me, I'm going to riot on November the 4th, or I'm going to burn the city down, or I'm going to take your guns away, well, those are things that are detrimental to my impression of them. So I pay attention to that, and I take that at full value.
And there's also precedent for it.
Yeah, we've seen the action.
Not arguing. I'm just saying. All these assholes said they would move to Canada, and I still haven't seen one single person go to Canada yet.
I don't know. I didn't think they were going anywhere either.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, it takes energy to move to Canada. It takes effort.
We'd all contribute a few bucks if that would help them move. I mean,
well, you can't get conservatives to move. I don't know how you can get a liberal to move.
I mean, you got to find a spot where Bigfoot doesn't exist, first of all.
Oh my gosh.
Well, he exists. His name is the Yankee Marshal.
Good luck.
Send him to Vancouver. That's pretty damn close.
Yankee Marshal. I wonder if has Yankee endorsed Biden, or is he still straddling the fence like he straddles a lot of things?
I think he's going. I think he's pro George Jorgensen.
Yeah, he said a long time ago he's voting for Joe because no matter what, Biden's going to win Washington.
See, this is why Yankee has so many fans. Is because he says things that make sense sometimes. Right?
He's a politician.
He says just enough to get people excited or orgasmic, and then but the people who know better, stay away. What am I trying to say, Nighthawk? You know what I'm trying to say.
I know what you say, my friend. I know what
I always have to keep smart people around me that can say the right thing.
You're speaking about the duality of man and the indecisiveness that exists within people. Your brain will automatically fill in what you believe to be the right answer when somebody gives you a partial answer that appeals to your psyche.
All right. Mad said he's leaving out there, so we'll see you later, Mad. Take it easy.
Mad, be safe, brother.
All right, I'm a little confused. How is saying this is who I'm voting for because of this reason partial answer?
I don't know.
Is that a question?
Yankee. No, I'm asking because that's what was just said. Is that Yankee had given only a partial answer and then people filled it in, but he literally said he's voting for Joe Jorgensen because he wants to establish a third party because in his state it's a Democrat leading state. Biden's going to win. Doesn't matter if he were to vote for Trump or not. So instead of voting for Trump or Biden, he's voting for the third party.
That's a good thing. I support that.
Let's be honest for a minute. I don't think we're ever going to see another independent president in this country. And I get, so this goes along the lines of we could solve everything by magically having 5 million gun voters go to DC and demand that we get rid of things. And so we could magically solve the problem with our two-party system by having 38 million Americans suddenly start voting independent. But we all know that neither of those things is going to happen before this country crumbles under its own plutocracy. So the reality of it is, I don't appreciate the fact that people think that we're going to create a third section of the government or a third party, an independent party, especially when the independents can't even agree amongst themselves what a good leader is. And I like Jo Jorgensen. Some of her stuff is great, but then she goes way left on some topics. But okay,
Well, is she supposed to be right, or is she supposed to be left, or is she supposed to be independent?
She's supposed to be independent, right? And that's the problem with independents is they can never commit to a thing. And I never know whether I'm
She's
voting.
Supposed to be libertarian.
Well,
the problem with independents is that they meet the definition of rugged individuals, right? There's too many. When you get that many individuals in a room, you can never get them to agree on any one thing.
Yeah.
And that means you can't raise money on any one candidate. That's been the problem for 100 years or whatever, right? We can't raise money for a candidate because we can't agree on what the platform is and what who the candidate should be.
And ultimately what the goal will be.
Right.
If the Republicans would run on legalized marijuana, I bet we'd have a few more Republican presidents before the Democratic Party figured out a way to fix the elections forever.
They're not trying to do that now.
That's one that I'm on the fence. I sit on the fence about. I mean, because I don't think, honestly, I think if a Republican legalized marijuana, then it still wouldn't be good enough. It was
possible.
I mean, that's one of those things where most of those people are going to say, "Well, I'm not going to smoke marijuana anyway. I'm not going to buy marijuana anyway." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would have to be a.
Or at least decriminalizing it to where we don't fill our damn jails up with people who sold a little bit of pot, for God's sake.
See, that's a libertarian that's part of the libertarian platform.
Well, it's just common sense. We ain't got room in our jails for all that shit. I'm sorry.
I know. I was just talking about
criminals should get let out, but we've got drug dealers who are serving 20-year sentences and they don't get it.
Well, I am actually extremely.
No Shadow says at Night Strike, I'm in Washington, so my vote doesn't count at all. It doesn't count. All electoral votes automatically go to the Democrat no matter what at Night Strike. So in cases where your electoral votes are going to go to Democrat no matter what, in those kind of states, then vote however the hell you want. I mean, vote for the third party.
Because DC doesn't have a law that says the electorate has to vote doesn't have to vote the way the electoral vote would normally go. Some states don't require that their electorate can vote either way, right?
But in states like California and Washington, they're always going to vote Democrat, period. They're always going to go for the Democrat.
That means they would not have to have that state law that requires them to vote the way the majority votes, right? In some states, like in Tennessee, if the majority of the vote says we want to elect Trump, then that electorate has to vote. The electoral candidate has to vote for Trump. But
correct.
Some states allow that person to vote the way they want to vote.
Didn't we just win a lawsuit over this?
Remember, the views and opinions of my panelists are not specifically the views and opinions of
I was asking a question. It wasn't an opinion. It was a question.
Or questions. There. All right? I have to cover all my bases.
Right. I mean, you have these. How do you get electoral votes? Is there's a person that represents those votes. And that person in each state either has to or doesn't have to abide by the state itself, whatever vote the popular vote.
So that used to be the case. However, on July 6, 2020, the Supreme Court ruled the Electoral College must support the popular vote.
Well, there you go. I'm not reading the news.
No,
are killing me.
I saw a case about it. And I just remembered that case. That's all. But you're right. It used to be that Washington and Colorado had what was called faithless electors. Washington and Colorado both could elect either way, so they could elect however they wanted to.
Because this was an issue during the 2016 campaign.
Correct. Yep. Wow, and that was a 5-4. That was. Let me tell you something. If you don't appreciate how quick the Democrats are going to stack the Supreme Court,
oh, they're going to pack it, baby. If they win, we're all up a creek without a paddle.
The absolute moment they get the opportunity to, they're going to pack that court, man.
The only thing that changed that is if we, somehow maintain the Senate, maintain a majority in the Senate, that might, put a kink in that.
Absolutely.
I hope we do.
Absolutely have been creating the country they want based on the Electoral College for the last 20 years.
While saying they think it should be abolished at the same time.
Yep.
Okay, well, Ghost Shadow saying in Washington, the Electoral College, the electoral district he's in, voted Trump, but the electoral vote still went to Hillary.
That's correct. In 2016, that would have been the case. But as of July 8th, 2020, that is no longer the case.
We going to set something up or what?
Now, are you sure that's all across the board?
Well, that specifically mentioned Colorado and Washington. And the other states don't have faithless electors.
Because generally speaking, the Supreme Court would only address the case that's in front of them, like a state case or whatever.
Well,
they don't have broad sweeping generally. I mean,
right.
That's why you have them. That's why people are confused about voter extension law, or poll.
Yeah.
Because in some states they've allowed it to be extended and some not. That's because they're looking at each individual case. And not all.
That's correct. Yep.
But I did hear that North Carolina may come around in the latest poll. That they may, at some point in time, the North Carolina, based on polls, was up in the air. But anyway.
Well, what was it? Mississippi or West Virginia decided they were going to sent out a Union of the States the other day. See who they could get to sign it.
What was that?
I think it was West Virginia sent out a message to all of the state leadership in Tennessee, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama, wanting to start a Union of the States.
You mean like spiritually or legally or?
Legally, like specifically targeting the Second Amendment. Let's see. I think
you left out Florida. That makes sense.
Yeah,
because it's Florida.
Yeah, there's a few government officials that are beginning to see the writing on the wall, if you will, or what they believe to be the writing on the wall.
Yep. All right, guys. We were boring New York Outcast, so he can't listen to this anymore. And, I think we've gone long enough.
What does he want to talk about?
I don't know. He left.
Britney Spears.
He probably wanted to talk about New York's next top model that does roofing or something. I don't know.
How is it that we finally have a female I'm going to say a female vice or first lady, and she's the hottest first lady in history, and she never makes the cover of anything. That frustrates me.
AOC made the cover of Vanity Fair.
I don't know how. She's a very fine specimen of mule. I can understand why they might do that.
Jackie Kennedy was pretty good.
Yeah, Jackie wasn't bad.
That hair, though.
I don't look at the first ladies in that kind of way. So don't ask me anything about that.
They're like your mother.
They're like my mother, more or less. You know, that's how I feel.
That's a little weird.
You know,
that's because they're usually older women, right?
All right.
Cougars.
All
right. So with that, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, everyone on the YouTube side. Thanks for hanging with us. Remember to check out GunTube.org and store.guntube.org if you'd like to support GunTube. And we've got new patches on the store. So if you want to get one of those new GunTube patches, that's the only way.
How much are they?
I think I got them for $11.
That's pretty good.
So that's not bad.
Is there a discount
code? There might be. I don't know. I got to check to make sure I have that set up. Anyways, with that, check out Gizzard Gary's chat later this evening. Gary, what are we calling your chat? Are we still calling it foul territory, or
yes, sir.
Have things run afoul?
It is the foul territory. That's at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Central.
Guys, if you've never gone and seen foul territory, it's a lot of fun.
There's your GunTube patch right there.
Oh yeah, you finally got it.
Yeah,
huh? He got one.
I thought it was different. That's cool. That's like a little laptop.
Yeah,
it's a laptop with
light on
GunTube
the
on
side.
That's the one that came out with the patch project, or that's another one?
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the new patch. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't have any. I may have like two or I might have some left on the store on the GunTube store, but I don't think I have any left of the old patch. So I am out of the old patches. So the new patches are all I've got. I've got tons of the new patches. So if somebody wants one, go to store.guntube.org and check those out. I'll put the link out there.
I can sell my old GunTube patches for a lot of money because they're in short supply now.
They're collectibles now.
Yeah. Like that Mario Brothers game, that first one.
Yeah, I've got that one too. So, check that out. All right, so we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys Tuesday. So for hit or miss. So take it easy, everyone. Stay safe. Wash your damn hands. And shut up! Be infringed.
Give him the bird.
Don't lick things. If it's wet and it's not yours, don't touch it.
Yeah, there you go.
Vote next Tuesday.
Vote. Go out and vote.
Did you say don't lick things? What did you say?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's weird.
People are weird. So, yeah. All right. Adios, Felicia. Damn.